Something that's always mildly bothered me about Oblivion, and to some extent Bethesda games as a whole, is the lack of meaningful and rewarding achievements. Oblivion was the first game Bethesda made after Microsoft and Xbox first came up with these meta enhancements. There were no rules surrounding them and how they're doled out or unlocked from one game to the next, making their value dubious at best. With time, though, like everything, a general structure has developed around them. These days, achievements are usually split up into 3 categories: playing through the main story, finishing side missions, and finding certain amounts of collectibles or hidden items. That's not a hard set of rules, but they are generally followed. Without this generic structure, achievements are otherwise, in some way, a reflection of what the developers seem most focused on, proud of, or personally think you should probably be doing in the game. That, or they're an expression of just how much of an afterthought achievements are, which I think is the case with Oblivion and, again, Bethesda's games overall. These days, achievements are ubiquitous, built into most consoles and PC game platforms, and thus expected. They're also something that mostly caters to players who can't get enough of a game. The people who will not only play through the game a second, third, or fourth time and beyond, but also spend hours searching all the dark corners and attempting to get high scores. Oblivion is that sort of a game for me, which is why it's so maddening that the achievements are so lackluster. Cyrodiil is a huge province covered with so many locations to explore and secrets to learn about. One of my favorite ways to play this game is to utterly ignore the main quest and just enjoy the relaxing sounds of nature, or a downpour in the forest while I search for mushrooms. I avoid all the guilds and instead opt for a less structured life of an adventurer or freelancer, taking on odd jobs as I find them and cleaning out ruins as I see fit. So, you can understand my annoyance when opening the achievements to find nothing but a list of how you climb through the ranks of each and every guild or faction in the game. Don't misunderstand me, I don't think it's bad to have achievements for doing the various faction and guild quests, but it's just so utterly boring for that to be the only thing to have achievements for. Oh, you joined the Dark Brotherhood? Good, because we have achievements for every promotion you receive along the way. Murderer, Slayer, Eliminator, Assassin, Silencer, Speaker, and Listener. Wait, what's that? You learned that only during a specific time in the game that a total of 50 Oblivion gates can open, the namesake of the entire game, and you painstakingly found and closed each one to the detriment of your sanity? Well, congratulations and good luck proving it to others, because you can't get an achievement for that. Now, let's talk about something more important, like how we can give you an achievement for every promotion you receive when playing through the Thieves Guild questline. Pickpocket, Footpad, Bandit, Prowler, Cat Burglar, Shadowfoot, Master Thief, and Guild Master... Oh, by the 9 divines, what now? You're telling me you went to the Shivering Isles, you found the Museum of Curiosities, and went out to meticulously collect its 12 artifacts, more than half of which only spawn at random and require the patience of a god to find? Well, there's no achievement for that. But the good news is you'll be doing lots of quests for a god and earn the promotions and accompanying achievements: Tourist, Aspirant, Citizen, Madman, Honored Madman, Duke, Duchess, Regent, Defender, and... Oh, wait. Some of those are spoilers. I guess I should censor them. Oh, but don't worry. You can just look them up to learn how the game ends. I could do this over and over with the Arena, Fighters Guild, Mages Guild, and Main Quest, but I think I've made my point. Oblivion has so many things to find and discover, yet the only meta reward you ever receive is acknowledgement that you know how to follow a quest marker. This is really disappointing because achievements are one of the few ways for developers to gently inform players of the more hidden aspects in games, especially when there's an open world. Additionally, if exploring for the sheer sake of exploring isn't enough, then achievements can serve as a modest secondary reward for playing the game even a bit longer when you otherwise wouldn't. There are so many reasons why achievements are at their best when they're not phoned in like they are in Oblivion, and there's no shortage of interesting things they could have rewarded you for. finding 100 Nirn roots, starting and finishing the collector quest, doing favors for all the Daedric princes, managing to find and complete all the miscellaneous quests, finding all the map locations in Cyrodiil, reaching level 30, finding a full set of master alchemy equipment. Even something as simple as maxing a single skill would be more engaging than simply, "Congratulations, you followed a quest marker." Now, it's entirely fair to argue that lackluster achievements for a 20-year-old game should be expected. After all, achievements weren't really even a thing when the game was in development and were an entirely new concept when Oblivion released. And to be fair, they didn't bother me too much in the original because I was only tangentially aware of them, since they were a console exclusive and I played the game almost entirely on PC. Their shallow nature still annoyed me the few times I had a brush with them, but those moments were few and far between. The real problem, though, is how I'm not talking about the original, but a brand new remaster. The biggest thing that rankles my feathers about all of this is how the achievements were left in the most uninspired, boring state. The utter gestational beta phase of existence where no one knew how to make good achievements because they were so new. I understand being cautious about how much you change when doing a remaster. It's a precarious balance of maintaining original charm versus updating systems and mechanics to be more user-friendly. Update too much and you lose the charm, but if you update too little, it's just a slog to play. Achievements, however, exist outside balancing. They exist beyond anything that has a fundamental impact on the immediate gameplay loop. They are the epitome of something you can give a good look at while you're making an old game feel new, and actually redesign it with limited effort and yet still have a meaningful impact on how some people play the game and what they discover. It's the best of both worlds. Will changes to the achievements reach everyone? No. Do they fundamentally change the game? No. Is it difficult to imagine and implement new ones? No. I'm just baffled that these things were left in their original state. It would have been best to pare down the list of existing guild and faction-related achievements and insert new ones at least similar to what I've described. But even if you wanted the entire original list present, that's still a poor excuse for why no new achievements were added that draw attention to some of the more original things you can do or find in the game. Do you know about spellcrafting? Because it's probably the most noteworthy thing you can do in the game, especially if you've only ever played a little title that's been re-released a billion times called Skyrim. An achievement just for making your own custom spell would have made lots of sense. Even though, I admit, if you play the game enough, you'll eventually hear NPCs talking about how you can make your own spells at the Arcane University. But I still think that having an achievement for it wouldn't hurt. I know that this is a tempest in a teacup, a mountain out of a molehill, and I am crying a river which I should really just build a bridge and get over. But it does seem to me like an incredibly easy thing to update with no real risk to messing up the actual game. This is low-hanging fruit, and while, at the end of the day, the achievement list really won't change anything about the overall game experience, I'm baffled that something so easy to adjust received no attention whatsoever. I know that what makes good achievements and bad achievements is subjective. I mean, I mostly don't care about them in 90% of the games I play. But I struggle to see how porting over the exact list from the old game was worth the effort, yet adjusting the list or adding new ones wasn't. The Oblivion Remaster is, overall, pretty good. It captures a lot of the original charm and rounds off just enough of the rough edges. It's not perfect, and I don't think that's really the point. Yet somehow, I just can't help but feel the achievements are the one spot they really dropped the ball and should have given it an actual overhaul, especially with how easy doing so would have been. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Be sure to let me know what you think in the comments. Also, let me know if you like videos like this. Until next time, though, my name is William Strife, and I want to say thanks to all my supporters on Patreon. I'll see you next time. Bye.